Welcome to another episode of Let's Draw. Let's just jump into it. The first stage, before we reach the position we're at in this video, is I use the 3D model mannequin in the program Clip Studio Paint to pose the figure and figure out how it's exactly in the frame. And I printed it out, and then using some semi-transparent paper or paper that was a little bit transparent. I do have a light box, but I didn't need it. I then used ink and well, first a pencil sketch and then an ink rendering of that to make the line work that I then scanned. And here I added color shapes, each in its own layer. And then I'm editing those or refining those with shadow and highlight. So the idea is to try and do some kind of combination of traditional and digital technique to see what kind of result I can achieve. Here there's the traditional aspect is only the line work, and well, by the end the result is very nice. I do enjoy how it came out, but I don't know about the balance between the traditional and the digital element. Maybe the next one there will be some more shading, or maybe I'll work. I could use the line art that comes from the traditional drawing to make new digital line art, because, well, if you zoom in very much, it's a high resolution scan. You can see that the lines they're a little bit wobbly. It adds a bit of charm, I guess, and the appearance of handmade drawing that sometimes greatly improve digital art because it can be so smooth and precise because of the resolutions and the motion smoothing that you can achieve. So I don't know, what's your opinion? Pass the question off to you, the viewer. Yeah? What do you think if you're so smart watching the video up to the 2-minute mark? Fooled you. Well, you will probably want to jump around the video. I don't know. It's quite accelerated. It came up to, not including the drawing part, it was 430 minutes, which is, if I knew math, I could calculate how much that is in an hour, in hours terms. And it turns out it's like 7 hours, not including posing the 3D model, sketching over it with a pencil, and then inking that. So I don't know, maybe just pure work it was around 8 hours. Seemed longer than that. I don't know. Well, I guess you could, if you were just sitting at the computer all day, you could achieve something like the end result in a day of concentrated work. For me, there are a lot of interruptions because I can't only just sit and draw, and these drawings are for my portfolio, and well, because I like to draw, so I draw things every now and again. But I also have to dedicate my time to some other things. So it took, I don't know, maybe 3 days or something like that. And I'm also streaming. If you want, you can follow me on Twitch. So I recorded the entire process. I also streamed it. On here I'm working on the background using the same technique that I used for the rest of it, but you will know that the background has only one tone and doesn't have various colors in it. I wanted to draw attention to the character by not adding too much detail and richness to the background. And also, figure she's in a tomb, it's underground, there's not a lot of light sources, so things can be, dark and murky. Which, I don't know, it depends on the screen. On my screen, the background is quite is visible enough, but I know from that it's a very low value in some parts. So depending on how your screen is calibrated, it could appear quite dark. Yes, and still working on the shading. I'm not convinced in the end that I got the shading all right, but this is how it came out. Well, maybe I'll have a more directed plan for the next drawing. What I mean by shading is that the overall effect of the lightning, of the lighting, how it am I showcasing the character well enough? Is the focus of the viewer effectively manipulated to convey the visual narrative? I think so. I think it's pretty okay. For some reason, sometimes when I resize the image, those outlines come out, create some anti-aliasing artifacts that makes it not look so nice, or make the character look a little bit pasted in the background. Maybe that's part of it. Even though it's all drawn uniformly with the same, almost the same technique. There's a little mouse there. Now I accidentally moved the layer of the outline, and that could be a disaster if you do it while you're not seeing what you did, and then maybe when you were zoomed in on something and you move the outlines, and your undo buffer is full of whatever it is you were doing, you zoom out and you notice you move the outlines, it will be very, very, very difficult, if not impossible, to bring them back to where they were before. Luckily, I saw what I was doing and I was able to undo it. But then I wised up and locked the layer. Now here I'm trying out. It's actually sort of nice. I mean, it appears kind of nice. I'm going back and forth between having these outlines and not having additional thicker outlines, and what I thought they were very nice in making the character pop, and they gave it some more comics and graphic look. I decided to reduce them to almost remove all the outline work that I did a little bit before, because I just wanted to keep going with the first technique idea I had, push it to the conclusion and see what is the result that I'm getting, so I can really learn and not, rely on a crutch or on something that I know works but isn't necessarily what I wanted to work for this drawing. So I'm using it a little bit to help me out in some spots, add contrast to the face, to the head, to the upper torso, and then not so heavily on other parts. Alright, so we're nearing the end. I'm adding some effects on top of the outlines, which is always fun, and it really brings things out. Some lighting things I found, they fixed, and here it is. The final drawing, the Goblin Adventurous, has the ancient artifact dagger that drinks the soul of evil undead. And as always, I'll see you next time, and goodbye for all eternity. Jables. The end. Now it's over. The movie's over. Click subscribe, like, comment, share, hit the button, hit the bell notification. Goodbye.